The only positive thing to say about it, tree pollen not a factor today, but if you suffer from seasonal allergies, there's a good chance one of these is going to get you. Weed pollen now considered high, grass pollen also high, mold spores in the high category. This means you need to take those allergy medications if you're like us and you suffer from seasonal allergies. We're also monitoring our air quality very close today. Right now, everything is in the healthy category. However, yesterday, we quickly saw it turn hazardous, especially for areas south of Houston. And once again today, we have an air quality alert for Harris, Galveston, and Brazoria counties. If you suffer from respiratory problems, you may want to limit your time outside, especially into the afternoon. A live look from our Fred Haas Toyota World camera. You can see out at Miller, one puffy cumulus cloud out there. Actual air temperature, just like yesterday, heating up pretty quickly. Right now, we're sitting at 85 degrees, 82 for our friends out in Washington County. Winds, these have shifted. Yesterday, they were very calm from the northeast. Right now, we're starting to see them from the south-southwest. That's going to help us heat up as we head into the afternoon, which is why today we're expected to hit 90 degrees. Make sure you drink plenty of water and be careful in this heat. Brittany, Andy, we've got much more heat coming up, but all the details in a few.
Yep, it's that time.
Supercomputers, they're going to require a tremendous amount of water. That could increase the rate that we're sinking.
Something definitely to think about.
Certainly something important to think about. Hey, I really love it when we have sunshine this time of year, especially for kiddos heading out to the beach. And today would be a fabulous beach day. However, do watch out because we do have the threat of unhealthy air quality into the afternoon, especially down in Galveston. But for now, things are looking okay. Those ozone action days primarily go into effect into the afternoon, but you should be doing things to prevent it as we head through the morning. Air temperature right now sitting in the lower to mid 80s, 85 here in Houston, 86 up in Conroe. We've got dew points sitting in the mid to upper 60s. Brenham in the 70s. This is what we've been waiting for. Yesterday, these were in the upper 50s. It was pleasant. It was less humid. Today, you might start to feel that humidity just a touch, and it's also providing with it a heat index factor. Temperatures feel about 3 to 5 degrees warmer because of that humidity. Car wash forecast this afternoon, still not a bad day to do it. We're not expecting rainfall until Sunday. Temperatures continuing to warm up by this afternoon, reaching the lower 90s. So please take those heat precautions. Make sure you stay hydrated, not just today, but as we really going to start to notice it as we head towards the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, that muggy meter continues to climb. By early next week, it is going to be really Houston humid for the upcoming week. Not only are we going to see those afternoon highs climbing into the lower 90s, but our morning lows also really increasing. We started the week in the 50s and the 60s. As we look ahead to the weekend, you're going to notice those overnight low temperatures struggling to cool down. We're talking mid to upper 70s. And to me, this is the sign of summertime here in Houston. When we stop cooling down in the evenings, that's when we really start to heat up. Pool party forecast this weekend. Saturday looking fabulous. Sunday, heads up, isolated storms are going to be possible, and we're going to see those rain chances. And our air quality really within the last 30 minutes has started to go downhill. You can see those deep orange colors that tend closer to hazardous. So for those who are in a sensitive group, I'm talking folks who suffer from respiratory illnesses such as asthma, you might want to limit your time outside. Air quality alerts officially for Brazoria, Galveston, and Harris County. This is in place today. I expect it every single day. Really, the first day we might see a change, that's going to be Sunday, as we'll start to see some rain chances move in. But from now through at least Saturday, air quality alerts likely every single day. A live look outside. We've only got one teeny little cloud out there, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures currently 88 degrees. Sunset tonight not until 8:06, getting later and later. And as we head through the evening tonight, temperatures not going to be cooling down as efficiently. By 10 o'clock, 78 degrees. You can see mellowing out in the lower 70s tonight. A pretty mild start to what's going to be another warm day out there, 90 degrees for our Friday. Andy, I've got much more on our full forecast coming up.
We will see you in just a few minutes. Spent any time outdoors like the two of us, maybe sniffling, coughing, sneezing, all of it, all the things that are just a downright nuisance right now.
I've been trying to avoid outside. I spend some time outside with my son once I get home, but I end up itching my eyes, my throat gets scratchy. It's not cute. I can't do it. Sunshine, but don't skip on the allergy medications. Let me show you why. We have been watching our allergy report continuing to increase and our air quality decrease as well. Right now, air quality, that's going to be lowest from Harris County over towards Baytown and Mont Belvieu. This can cause problems for folks with respiratory problems. But if you're like me or Andy and you suffer from seasonal allergies, definitely for the sneezing as we head through the rest of the day today. As you're stepping outside, make sure you take those heat precautions because we are certainly starting to feel a lot like summertime. Actual air temperature topping out in the upper 80s and the lower 90s today. Right now, it's 90 degrees in Katy, 88 out in Pearland. Factor in the humidity and it actually feels about 3 to 5 degrees warmer. Yeah, the humidity, it's starting to really come back right now. Dew points in the mid to upper 60s, a few spots in the 70s. Yesterday, this was in the 50s, which is why it's starting to feel just a bit stickier out there. But not a bad night for a year. The sun angle is high enough that you can get burned fairly quickly. You'll notice that humidity continuing to climb as we head through the next several days, Saturday and Sunday, certainly feeling much more like that typical Houston humidity. Not only is it warm in the afternoon, but our mornings are really going to struggle to cool down. By this weekend, we're starting our days off in the mid to upper 70s. And then into the afternoon, still going to be toasty, but we do hacking that air quality through the afternoon. Right now, we are seeing reduced air quality, you can see, and that tan color and even that deeper orange. That's where air quality can be considered unhealthy, especially for sensitive groups. Now, when we say sensitive groups, we mean folks who suffer from respiratory problems, lung illness. Think folks who have asthma. You may want to consider limiting your time outside, exercising indoors. That Ozone Action Day in place for Brazoria, Galveston, and Harris County here. It's possible we can see this reissued over the next several days. We'll keep checking in with the Weather Service and let you know, but otherwise, it's a hot one out there. A live look outside, you can see just a few puffy clouds, but mostly sunny skies. Temperatures 88 degrees. Winds are a bit stronger today. If these continue to stay elevated, this is going to decrease the chance of unhealthy ozone here closer to the surface. Sunset tonight at 8:06 p.m. and it's going to be a mild one for sure. Temperatures slow to cool down tonight, dropping into the mid and lower 70s. You might have noticed today felt a bit stickier, and we're going to continue to see that humidity climb as we head through the next several days. Temperatures for the second time today hit 90. Once again, we're expecting the 90s on Friday, but by Saturday and Sunday, humidity is going to start to ramp up. That means highs in the upper 80s, but factor in the humidity. That heat index value going to be in the mid 90s. By the way, by Sunday, rain chances are going to start to move in. Those really ramp up into next week. But Joel, Lisa, much more in our full forecast coming up.
Got it. We'll see you for that soon, Caroline.
And donate blood today. It is beautiful outside. We've got plenty of sunshine. Sure. Got plenty of sunshine, a nice afternoon out there. But if you are going to be spending some nice time outside, I would recommend taking those allergy medications. If you suffer from seasonal allergies like myself, our allergy report, weed pollen high, grass pollen high, mold spores high. This is not normal, and this is why a lot of folks might be feeling uncomfortable. The pollen, but then also our poor air quality. Right now, though, it has seen some pretty significant improvement from what we saw just at the beginning of the show. You can see closer to Houston, we do have slightly reduced air quality from Mont Belvieu to Baytown, also down near Pearland, but most of us doing a little bit better. And the main reason why, likely because winds are slightly stronger than what we were seeing yesterday. Actual air temperature right now, 91 degrees here in Houston, 90 in Katy. This is actual air temperature, but mentally at about 3 to 5 degrees because that's what it feels like outside due to our high humidity. Dew points, maybe high was an aggressive word, starting to climb. They're a lot higher than they were yesterday in the mid 60s. Because of this, it's feeling a bit sticky. Pool party forecast, not a bad time of year to do it. Temperatures staying in the 80s through 8 p.m. We're at the point where sunset now at 8:06, so even at 8 o'clock, still you can be outside. Muggy meter forecast showing our humidity is going to steadily climb as we go through the next several days. You can see Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day just a touch more humid than the day before. Not only are we going to be more humid, but because of those high humidity values, we're not going to be able to cool down very efficiently. Sunday and Monday forecast low temperatures mid to upper 70s. This is the telltale time that summer is moving in. Warm mornings, but also rain returning. When we've got that high humidity, you'll start, hey, that's because we're continuing to track our air quality, and it's been changing quite a bit. In fact, right now, it's really been going downhill for areas north of town. You can see from the potential for hazardous air quality. Now, we do have an ozone action day today. The main concern is going to be sensitive groups, those who suffer from respiratory problems such as asthma. That's where we can be seeing the biggest concerns. Otherwise, south of I-10 doing okay, but Conroe to Huntsville, if you do suffer from lung illnesses, I would recommend staying indoors, limiting that outside time, and certainly exercising inside. A live look outside, you can see we've got mostly sunny conditions out there, a few clouds, but most of us just seeing an abundance of sunshine. Temperatures 88 degrees, sunset tonight at 8:06. So as you're walking the dog, it'll be a warm one out there. Temperatures even at 9 o'clock, still holding on to 80 degrees. This time of year, you really start to notice that we're not cooling down as efficiently. In fact, as we head through the evening tonight, most of us not even going to make it into the 60s here in Houston. Forecast a low temperature only at 70 degrees. And when we're starting in the 70s, that's going to start for a pretty warm day. In fact, Friday afternoon, we're going to kick off our weekend with high temperatures in the lower 90s. Factor in the humidity, and it is going to be feeling a touch warmer. And then Saturday and Sunday, that humidity really starts to crank up. By Sunday, we're putting in a chance for isolated showers. Those rain chances ramp up next week, but Lisa, Joel, much more coming up.
Okay, Caroline.
Oh, checks, really?
I do.
That's very 1990.
I don't
I
think
haven't used them, but they're there. They're in a drawer.
I've never owned a check, but I have a lot of stamps, but that's
Never had a check? Really?
to my knowledge. Maybe when
We're old.
perhaps at one point they gave me a check when I opened up my bank account, but
Crazy.
that was stashed away into a junk drawer to
We
never
don't need
be
it.
used
Checks
again.
are done.
They're done.
All right, we better
so, too.
transition
I know.
somehow to
Okay,
the weather.
beautiful
Gonna get
day
there.
outside today. It is hot out there. If you walk through Harris County, Conroe and Huntsville and over towards Baytown, that's where we have the poorest air quality right now. Main concern is going to be for folks who suffer from respiratory illnesses. Folks who have emphysema or asthma, I would recommend limiting your time outside. Today, we do have an ozone action day. The Weather Service hasn't yet issued it for the day tomorrow, but it is going to be possible if those winds don't pick up. Actual air temperature sitting in the upper 80s and the lower 90s right now, 91 here in Houston, 88 for our friends out in Sugar Land. The big change today, well, we've got a touch more humidity. Yesterday, these values were in the 50s. Today, mid 60s, lower 70s. Not as high as we're going to be as we head towards the weekend, but you can kind of start to feel that change coming. It's feeling slightly stickier. So if you are doing a car wash this afternoon, not a bad day to do it, but do know that it's going to be a bit toasty. Temperatures at 7 o'clock, still 84 degrees. Our next rain chances don't move in until Sunday, so car wash, not a bad idea. Muggy meter is going to show that humidity continuing to climb as we approach the weekend. Saturday, certainly going to start to feel humid. By Sunday and Monday, that's when we'll start to feel really tropical here in Houston. And as we increase our humidity, we lose our ability to cool down efficiently. That's why as we head through the weekend, those crisp mornings we started off with May, those are a thing of the past. By Sunday and Monday, waking up in the mid to upper 70s. Through the weekend, you're going to continue to see those warm temperatures, and Sunday, a 30 to 40% chance every single day as an unsettled weather pattern